Greetings, dear ones. This is the Council of 12, channeling through Evalena Rose, and we are most delighted to be with you. We invite you to allow your angels, highest, brightest, clearest guides and angels to weave a chrysalis of light around you so that you can relax, come in, arrive in your center, and open your grounding deep into the earth. We'd like to speak to you, and we'd like you to really be present during this time. Some of it's meditation, some of it is for your mind to understand what we're doing, and some of it is to blow your mind. When the mind gets blown, new possibilities arrive. So get really curious about what might happen if we actually blow your mind. Deep breath, arrive in center. If you need time to settle, then turn off the recording long enough to settle down, settle in, arrive in now, so you can really benefit from this work. We'd like to speak to you about the shadow, embracing the shadow, to call into consciousness, into awareness, into our love field, the parts of ourselves that we may have considered unacceptable, too irascible, too odd or weird, or too wounded to be allowed into full consciousness. And yet these times, what's called for is to approach everything with your whole, entire being. And in the shadowlands of your own psyche are some of the keys necessary to unlock the real changes that are wanted on the planet right now. You might say, in many countries, there's been a vote to embrace the shadow, to elect the collective shadow to offices. So, must be time to really look at it. And whatever you see out there, whatever you might judge, go, is that in me? There's an aspect of psyche that psychology recognizes as the shadow. The indigenous people to America would often call that the smoky mirror. So the disowned self, the part of you that you don't allow into consciousness, shows up outside, and there's great reaction because that's not acceptable in your universe. And yet, if it's showing up out there, it must be reflecting something in here. So whatever you would judge, whatever you would think, oh, how awful, how can that be? Go, do I have a part that's anything like that? And can I heal that? Can I help heal that from the collective consciousness and the collective unconsciousness enough that it doesn't have to keep being in our face? And we use this word heal as if there's something amiss. Perhaps better to say, can I bring that to balance? Can I bring that to awareness? Can I allow my shadow to be as much a part of me as my light, and allow the play of dark and light that's part of nature, the yin, the yang, the play that's both dark and light? So take a breath. And as you breathe, allow your consciousness to spiral down your center, to flow all the way down the core of your body, and to link with your grounding, deep, deep roots. You might take the grounding you've had because you've been grounding a lot of things, maybe other people. Just take it and send it to the earth. And then let your light flow down your core and open new grounding deep into the planet. And feel how those roots reach out into the crystals and the stones and the waters and the elements of the earth, and can anchor you with the earth. Earth has a lot of shadow, a lot of light. So feel that anchoring. And then another couple breaths, bringing up the earth energy, letting yourself fill with it. Bring it up on the in-breath. Let it radiate through your body on the out-breath. Let yourself be served and nurtured by earth. And then on the next in-breath, call in your light. Call in the light of your light body nature. Call in the light of your soul. Call in your quantum essence. Let it flow in and down and through your body. Let your body become light. We did a channeling of recent date, activating your light body. So feel that you can become your light body. All the way down your back, your legs, your arms, your hands. So that's pretty easy, huh? Gets easier all the time. So now that's there. Your light is a resource. Wherever we go, you can call it in again. Your being sustains that light even when you go into the Shadowlands. Your guides and angels support you in returning to that light, being restored to your light. And just feel, I am sustained by the light of my being. And then let that go. Let it go. Let go of the light. Let go of needing the light. Let go of being the light. Let go of being anything other than now. And allow your consciousness to flow right down into your center. And let all of you, your many parts and pieces, subpersonalities, aspects, whatever you call your multifarious self, let all of you know that you want to explore your shadow. And Spirit's holding your light, there's angels and guides around, and it's safe to get to know your shadow. So take a breath, notice what comes up when you make that affirmation. Notice if there's any part of you that has a need around that. And if there's parts of you that are young and this is scary to them, ask Divine Mother to come and hold them deep in your heart so that you can do this work while they're safe in her arms. And then she's going to just put like a blackout curtain around her holding those little ones. And imagine that you can step in to your center and call up your shadow. Shadow, shadow worlds of mine, I want to get to know you. I'm a little nervous about it perhaps, and I want to get to know you. I am inviting you to come forward so there's no part of me unseen. What do you have to teach me? And get still. Allow that teaching to dawn upon you. Shadow of mine, what have I hidden from myself? And take a look. And I ask to see the judgments or the thought processes that directed me to push this underground. I seek to accept all of me. So take a look. Whatever is there arrived in your shadow through interactions with other people, other beings, probably parents, culture, family. So what? If you remove judgment, if you just go, oh, interesting. Whoa, I didn't know I had that from myself. That feels like my mother's judgment. Wow. I think I was as rejecting of my artistic nature as my father. How interesting. So approach your shadow with that kind of curiosity that says, what's here? What can I learn? And how did it get here? And is this really mine? And can I love it? Can I love it enough to admit it into consciousness? The smoky mirror is often the person who sits right across a circle from you in a gathering or a workshop, and you look at them and you go, that's the last person I want to look in their eyes. Because they hold a part of you you've disowned. So you judge them chatty and perhaps are not allowing all of what you want to say in a conversation because you're too nice and you listen too much. Or you ask questions, which is a way of deflecting the conversation away from yourself onto others, and then you don't feel listened to. And it's that person's fault for not listening. Or perhaps they're really bold, and every time you're in the space with them, they raise their hand and they share things and they seem to think they're so smart and they know so much and they put themselves in front of people. And where's the place in you that wants to do that? Where's the place in you that says it's not okay to appear too smart? For those who are of the feminine persuasion, as girls, it wasn't okay to be too smart, too pretty, too cute, too whatever. As boys, it wasn't okay to be too feeling, too in-depth, too capable of seeing behind what culture says you're supposed to see. So that gets shoved under. Those are beautiful things about you. As you come to know your shadow, you start realizing that some of your skills and talents that got judged, that got made wrong, or that frightened people because they didn't have them, some of those skills and talents got shoved underground, pushed down, removed from the repertoire of skills and talents you're allowed to develop, that you can have in your world. So what about that smoky mirror of someone who's got the Midas touch? Whatever they do, they seem to make money and they always seem to have enough and they get to travel and do these expensive things that you don't believe you can. So where is that in you? Take a look. So for a few breaths, explore your shadow. Close your eyes, breathe in, and get really curious, as if you're an explorer of a new land, with a sense of curiosity, of intellectual openness, breathing and being with whatever arises. If it's emotions, put them on the breath. If it's numbness, that's what's arising. Notice it. Hello, numbness. So numbness. Are you here to keep me from going deeper? Are you a coping system? I would like access deeper into my shadow. Will you let me pass? And breathe. It's your shadow. And you will find various gateways. Like, you can go this deep, but no further. That much you can know, but the rest of it not. And you just say, thank you. I realize you've been trying to protect me. You probably have all my life. And I now want to know everything. Everything. I want to know everything about me. I want to know all the things I've repressed. A little at a time. Don't need to know it all this moment. I want to know it all. Because I want to be able to allow all of me to be present. So, shadow, here I am, I'm present with you. Notice, how's it feel to be present? Can you really be unconditional? Can you just let it be? Oh, there's that memory. Whoa. Wow, I'm not sure I like how I was. Well, I'm not going to judge. I was how I was. Culture created who I was. It's okay. It's a good way to approach the shadow. It's okay. It's all okay. There for a reason. It's all okay. And when you approach with unconditional love, does your heart expand? See if you can, whatever you sense, see, or feel, expand to include it. Just allow. Yeah. So you get to, on your own, explore your shadow as much as you want. And whenever it feels too much, just go, hold on a second. I'm going to go to my light. And you breathe, you ground, you let yourself open again to the light of your being. You invite your being to bring in light. Yes, the angels to wash you through with waterfalls of light. You can ask the angels to cleanse your arc field if you sense that a lot of things are moving or leaving, and be again in your light body. That's your resource. So as you access your light again, see if you can feel that, oh, I don't have to totally repress the shadow to be in my light. I also don't have to try to transmute the shadow. What's the light do with the shadow? Lets it be. The light might offer itself, but it doesn't shine on it or permeate it or in some way treat it as pathology. It's not. Everything you shoved underground, you shoved down for a reason. So what? You see how we're removing judgment. We're letting the shadow be what it is. And the curious thing is, without trying to change the shadow, without needing to make it different, the shadow somehow lightens because you're present. Because it's no longer pushed outside of consciousness. To say the shadow wants your presence isn't quite accurate, but to say the shadow benefits from your presence is accurate. Part of what makes an experience fall into the shadowlands is a lack of permission to actually let yourself know you're having the experience. So, classic example, incest. A young child is molested and the molester says, remember, nothing happened. Nothing happened. And the child so wants that to be true that they start remembering nothing happened. And what did happen goes into the shadowlands. It might be that someone has a lot of thoughts about their gender identity and they're in a world where that's not acceptable at all. So they begin to share or they try to express a different gender identity than the one they're born with. And it gets so suppressed that it goes into the shadowlands. We're not going to talk about it. We're not going to think about it. We're not even going to know. We're not thinking about it. So dissociation has been called denial of the denial. I'm going to deny that's there, and I'm going to dissociate from it so much I don't even know it was ever there. And then it's in the shadow. As we access these unacceptable, unprocessed experiences, they come up raw sometimes because we never had a chance to sit with them and think about it. He said this, I said this happened, that happened. That's how we take an experience, break it into pieces, and file it away as memories. But these aren't memories. These are unprocessed experiences. Unrevealed thoughts. Unacceptable urges and interactions that we will never want to admit happened, and so we forget they happened. As we access them, we want to approach it with, whatever. Wow. I forgot. Okay. Because as you remember the part of you, part of your soul that's caught up in forgetting, can be retrieved to come back to now. So you're reclaiming bits and pieces of your soul by allowing yourself to explore what you've forgotten and shoved under. Over time, if you keep doing this work, and we recommend that you do, maybe once a week for a while, over time, if you keep doing this work, you'll start feeling more whole. It'll be like, there's more of me here. Wow. Not quite sure how this happened, but I fill out my skin better. And I have resources that I don't think I had before. Life gets happier. Now, who would think? You go mucking about in the shadow and you end up happier. Which is why most people don't go down there, don't explore it. And yet the truth is, you end up happier. That's how it works. So now, you've been fortified by your light. feeling it, knowing you can access it anytime you wish. It's always there. It's a resource to the part of you that doesn't live in the shadows. And yet, a caution is that you go into the shadows without taking your light with you. And if you want support, ask a being like Christ to come in and not bring their light. So you're just present, just there, not trying to lighten it up or shift it or anything. Because you've already rejected everything that's in there. So if you go in with rejection, you're not going to learn much. Nor are you going to really create more wholeness by rejecting what you've already rejected. So now let your light go. Bring yourself in with just a sense of bringing in who I am, my consciousness, not my light. And breathe, bring your energy down your center, go deeper in, go find the shadow again. Shadow. Selves, I want to come sit with you. Just because I want to come sit with you. I don't know if I can tell you I love you yet, but I want to come sit with you. We'll see what happens. At least I want to admit you exist. Here I am. And then sit and breathe. When you repeat this, sit there as long as you wish. And at any point, you know where to go when you want to let go. But right now, sit there. What wants to be revealed this time? Who am I that I didn't fully know? So, one tends to think of the shadow as working against you. It's not. The shadow doesn't want to work against you. It doesn't need to work for you. It actually likes to stop working. Not in getting laid off, being forced to stop work, but just in a sense of once you've come to know whatever's in the shadow, it has less and less to do. Doesn't mean you won't ever repress anything again, but it means there's less crowdedness. Creates vacancy and allows a lot of resources to be used elsewhere. Creates vacancy and allows a lot of resources to be used in other ways. So imagine you're beginning to feel like you can be a companion to your shadow. If you want to say I love you, fine, but only when you're ready. This is about embracing the shadow, allowing it into consciousness. And you might find there's a memory there and you go, oh, how could that happen to someone 3 years old? And then you want to love that part. Great. That's arising from your heart. Because the shadow's not going to believe words. It's going to believe what it feels kinesthetically, because it's kinesthetic in its storage. So if your heart opens, if there's a place where your emotions embrace naturally, the shadow goes, oh, you are here. Okay, I'll share that with you. But if I love you, shadow, I want to love you, I will do everything I can to love you, the shadow goes, oh, nothing's changed. Still working at me. still rejecting. So the greatest lesson is to look at what you most might have rejected and repressed with curiosity and acceptance. Hello. And notice how it feels. Notice what opens in you. Notice if there's a little more room for you now. And as you're ready, thank your shadow. If you want more time, pause the recording. As you're ready, thank your shadow. Thank everything you've seen here and just bless it with your gratitude that is a felt sense, not words. Thank you. And then let your shadow know I'm going to go back to the normal consciousness and I want to keep knowing you. I'll come back. Let me know you. Let me know you. And we'll see how we're meant to relate now. Who knows? I'm sure we'll figure it out because we're in this together. And then take your leave. Shadow doesn't like a lot of goodbyes or accolades or appreciations or praise or any of that. Just take your leave. And breathe into yourself, into your center, into your more normal consciousness and feel again your light. Let your being bless you for your courage, for being willing to take this underworld journey. And embrace who you are. The light, the ordinary self, the wisdom self that is learning by going in like this, and the shadow. Bless all of who you are. Every human we know is a multifarious being. A lot of personalities, aspects. Something about life on this planet tends to kind of take the personality apart. And then adulthood is about reconstituting a real true egoic self, connected to source, to spirit, to your being, to your light, to the underworld, the middle world, and the upper world, and to the earth. We love you immensely. It is our pleasure to be invited into your life in this way. We pray that you repeat this work until there's a clear connection with all of you. It doesn't matter if it takes a lifetime. We think everything that people arrange through childhood, all the kinks and crookedness, it's all intentional, and it's enough curriculum to last a lifetime. So be patient and just keep being, because you're divine. You're already perfect. You're already everything you need to be. We see it, we know it, we'll hold it for you. Call us into your life. Ask the Council of 12 to come and guide you. Ask your own highest, brightest, clearest guides to be with you. So as you drop deeper into these shadowlands, you want to rise higher into the light and into all these realms above your crown. So you have your whole self, 7 chakras above the crown. We'll speak more about that another time. So we thank you and bless you. We ask your guides and those of the council to bless all of your lives, that your highest destinies come true with ease, grace, and elegance. And may the realms of light bless this earth with so much love and peace that all beings are touched by the one being and they feel it and they know it and they turn to love and they turn to light. So take a few moments, bring your energy back in around you. You might do that waterfall of light and just let your aura consolidate around you. You may be fairly expanded. And know the universe is love, and so are you. Blessed be. Thank you, Council of 12. It's a blessing to channel you. Namaste.